Okay, guys, so let's talk now graphs. Let's see here. Let's start here with the graph for the original orchestra light, and this was the graph for the orchestra light. So as you can see, everything very neutralish, very neutral, nothing standing out. I mean, we're talking about everything staying within. Let's see, bass. There's a gain of around 6 dBs. Pinna gain. There's a peak at around 8 dBs. Very neutralish in its overall presentation. 100 hertz corresponds to about 1.5. Very much vocal focused. Bass is a little bit on the lean side in terms of quantity, and extension up top is sufficient and adequate for the overall tuning being used, but could be on occasion a little bit too overly recessed. Not perhaps the correct term to use, but you wish there was a little bit more twinkles and sparkles. But on the positive side, as I mentioned before, you didn't have any BA timbre or anything of the sort. All right, enter now let me actually make this stand out and make it a different color. Let's make it red so it really stands out. Okay, in red now, by comparison, you have the Orchestra 2. That extra amount of bass energy that I mentioned, although the type of bass is very much similar. We now have a bass gain of roughly 9 dBs, okay? The pinna gain here for the mids is around the same thing as well. But you notice there's a little bit those pockets there of extra energy and significantly more energy and more presence in the above 10K area. Overall, the sound is clean, detail. 100 hertz here corresponds to again around 1.6, 1.7 kilohertz, but the amount of energy you have there and the amount of energy you have here is very well balanced. So vocals are present, they are the star of the show, but they are now more evenly matched and there's more bass to keep up with that, as there is more high frequencies also to keep up with the vocals that we have here, the amount of energy that we have here. In terms of its scaling, that's where things again have been really well done. Everything just goes up in a very uniform manner. There's no points going up above or below or lagging behind or anything of the sort. So it was really well done. Comparing this to and let me compare it first to the cantor. Let me put the cantor in black so it stands out. Okay, cantor. You can see very similar in the bass, in the way it's been tuned. So it's got that kind of gliding style of bass, but the cantor ends up sounding, although here they don't seem similar, it ends up sounding very similar in this whole part of the spectrum, the mids, upper mids, and treble. But in the bass, I have to give it to the Orchestra 2. It sounds more present, more there. There's just a little bit more energy presence, not quality, but energy presence. Having said all of this, if you can get the cantor to fit really well in your ears, that difference is mitigated significantly. But it just takes more work for you to get the cantor to really fit properly in your ears. And I think that the approach Apple had was way too niche or focused. They should have been a little bit more appealing to a larger crowd of people. Just comparing the Orchestra Light to the Orchestra 2, again, as I mentioned, oh my God, this is what happens when you start getting tight. Compare it with the Luna, my apologies. Again, very similar in the overall tuning, as you can see, very similar. The difference is the Luna has that glide in the bass, while you have that tuck here on the Orchestra, and then up top is very similar again. Now, what happens is you notice that this part of the spectrum here, the upper mids and treble, in the Luna, it runs out of steam. It's audible. It's not like it starts distorting, but you just feel that the sound becomes just that little less polished, that little bit less more elegant, and you do have occasions where that BA timbre starts coming out. Okay, in the bass, very similar. Really, I had a hard time distinguishing the two of them. There were occasions where you could notice a little bit more slam on the Luna, but then it's very much give and take. And that's basically it, guys. I mean, there's really not much more that I can say. The Orchestra 2, in my opinion, has tick the right boxes. Again, Kiwi is doing the work properly and providing us with a product that's got a good quality to price ratio. It sounds phenomenal. I can only hope and can only expect 2026 to be an equally successful year for them, as 2025 definitely was. They had a number of really good IEMs being released last year, and yeah, that's basically it. All right, guys, take care now. Bye bye.